Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. National Assembly prioritizes security. Senate to summon police authorities to brief lawmakers on community policing as House of Representatives ask President Buhari to support security agencies. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum advocates a combination of military and political solutions to combat terrorism and insurgency in the northeast. Federal government confirms 48 deaths from Lassa fever out of 258 cases, offers assurance of coronavirus alert. And US President Donald Trump presents his Middle East peace plan, proposes a two-state solution with Jerusalem as Israel's undivided capital. Our website, channelstv.com, has more information on our top stories and others. Subscribe and watch Channels Television's live stream on YouTube and other social media platforms using your mobile device browser, or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. You can also watch us via smart TV platforms, Apple TV, Android TV, Fire and Roku TV. We're now being joined on News at 10 by Dr. Ayo Oluwole. He's a public health physician to look at how to stop the spread of Lassa fever. Now, it appears we have over 200 cases and about 41 deaths, and that also includes medical personnel. Yes. How do you think this can be brought under control?
Thank you for having me. Well, we've seen an increase because as of January 24, 2020, we found about 195 cases and about about less than 41 deaths now. And now we've had more than that in just a short period of time. So we need to intensify our efforts at prevention, putting out information, right informations out there into the public, and then ensuring that people are getting the right informations as we are putting out today. The Lassa fever outbreak is one that is spreading over 11 states now, with higher numbers in some states and some lower states. So we need to intensify efforts in identifying cases, telling people to get out fast as soon as possible. More than 48 hours of fever should be a high index of suspicion for any health practitioner treating, and also a patient to quickly get out and then find some other.
So a lot of awareness for health practitioners, yes, especially. But it would also appear that the fever has become a yearly ritual. We have in 2019 yes, it happening between January and February, yes, and you know, something between December and June, and we have it now. Is it the dry season? I mean, why do we have it recur every year?
Yes, so Lassa fever is endemic in Nigeria and in some other West African states. So we have now transmissions of the virus throughout the year, so that's established. But between the November and May period, we have a spike in transmission because of the weather, because of the dry season, and because of some human practices also, which has advanced interactions more with the rodents that carry the virus.
Looking at the number of states, you said 11, about 15 states affected. How do you think citizens can protect themselves and also ensure that some of these states that don't have it or haven't detected any of it, you know, can protect themselves better?
Yes. So first of all, we need to put out there to the general population that people need to stay away from interactions with the causative organisms and through the rodents, which is the multi-mammate rats, okay? And contact, we know that contact with urine, with infected urine, blood, you know, of these rodents are what gets us involved with this virus. So we need to ensure that we keep away, we keep our food safe, we keep our food in rodent-safe containers. We avoid contact with persons who are coming from probably states. You know, that's another way to curtail. Lagos states have not recorded a case Okay, so we need to be on high alert for persons who are moving from state to state and they are ill. Okay, hospitals and healthcare professionals need to take travel history very, very important, and then ensure that they have a high risk index of suspicion when they are seeing those cases.
So far, based on what the country is doing, most of the cases reported have been treated at the specialist hospital Irua, that's in Edo State.
Yes.
Would you say that we are prepared as a country to adequately handle this? Because we know that even in 2018 and during the dawn of the Ebola, there was a sort of national action plan for health, the federal government. So do you think we're really positioned, poised and prepared and ready to really tackle this head on?
Yes, I think we should move away from having emergency responses. Yes, emergency responses should come when we have outbreaks, but should also have sustained responses to these viral hemorrhagic fevers, because we've seen them coming year in, year out, and there's always an action when we have outbreaks. But there needs to be sustained surveillance. We need to put facilities into proper, like you just said, Irua specialist has capacity. We should need to improve other capacity for other hospitals, teaching hospitals, to detect and to treat cases as we find them, and also to intensify surveillance and find the reasons, okay, because we've not found the reasons why we keep having these outbreaks. Okay, the direct causes, we know the direct causes, but why do we have these outbreaks coming year in, year out? So we need to, and that can be done, answers can be done through surveillance, continuous surveillance and continuous education of the masses. Also,
some people have talked about community engagement and,
exactly.
You've mentioned promoting hygienic conditions and other control measures. Yeah. But looking at all of this, the U.S. Center for Disease Control said we're looking at 100 to 300,000 cases, and last year it was about 5,000 deaths. I mean, when you look at moving forward to handling this, what more do you think people should be doing, especially people who perhaps argue that maybe rats have been living with us since time immemorial?
Yes, well, the interactions with rats and rodents and humans have long been documented. And we know that human behavior has also influenced our further interactions. We keep having our bush burns, we keep having cities encroached, we keep encroaching into their natural habitat. So the interaction between these rodents and human populations are getting smaller. We practice we have poor sanitary practices. Environmental sanitations are poor, especially in congested cities like Lagos. And human behavior, also affects all of these things. So yes, we have a lot of cases and a lot of deaths, but we as the people, as the government, need to ensure that we put in measures, sanitary measures, to keep our environment clean. If these rodents don't find a good place to fatten up, they would not be coming into our midst. And if we don't go into their residence and their place of abode, we might not be having much more interactions.
All right, increased emergency measures. We'd like to appreciate you, Dr. Ayo Oluwole. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's take you to our Abuja studios where Linda Kigwe has some more stories. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Millicent. Now, moving away from health to legal issues, some relief may have come the way of the former chairman of the defunct pension reform talks team, Mr. Abdul Rashid Maina, today, after a federal high court sitting in Abuja reduced the bail conditions it earlier imposed on him. Justice Okonabang reduced the bail sum from 1 billion naira to 500 million naira, while ruling on Maina's application for a review of the conditions earlier granted by the court on November 26, 2019. The court also varied the ruling requiring Mr. Maina to produce 27 senators as sureties, each of whom should own landed properties worth 500 million naira in the highbrow Asokoro or Maitama areas of Abuja. He will now have to provide only one serving senator with property worth 500 million naira in either Asokoro, Maitama, Wuse 2, Central Business District or Katampe in the nation's capital. Such a senator must not have any pending criminal charges in court and must also accompany the defendant to all the proceedings during his trial. Maina is standing trial on charges of money laundering involving 2 billion naira of pension funds. From the court to politics, the leadership of the People's Democratic Party believes that without any amendment to the existing electoral laws, it will be difficult for their party to contest future elections. This skepticism was affirmed by the national chairman of the party, Mr. Uche Secondus, at a meeting with officials of International Republican Institute, IRI. According to Mr. Secondus, the Nigerian electoral system has deviated several miles from what it was in 2015 when the PDP conceded defeat and handed power to the ruling All Progressives Congress.
One of the areas that we are looking forward in our country is our electoral processes and our electoral laws. We believe that they are antiquated now. They needed amendments. We need to improve on our voting patterns and then the reporting or results from the point where you vote, the transmission processes. It's all embodied in the electoral processes and amendment. Without that, it will be difficult for us to think about contesting any election because the previous experience has been terrible and horrifying. We lost the election in 2015, obviously. The choice of the people must prevail and the will of the people must prevail. As Democrats, seamlessly, transition was very smooth. And for the first time in the history of our country, from 1960 up to date, there's never been any smooth civilian to civilian transition, or from one party to the other. That was accomplished and achieved by the PDP.
President Muhammadu Buhari has asked auditors at level of governments to keep ministries, departments and agencies on their toes through timely and accurate audit reports. The president gave the charge while declaring open a 3-day conference of auditors general in Nigeria holding in Abuja. He noted that underperformance by auditors or ineffective reports aid corruption in the country.
Through your audit findings and recommendations, corrupt practices would be discovered early and loopholes blocked before they are exploited. Furthermore, you have the full range of audit tools at your disposal, including financial compliance, performance, and information technology audits. There is literally no aspect of government performance or expenditure you cannot examine. My expectation for the future is to see audits conducted at all tiers of government with more impactful findings. I expect audit institutions to be able to report the amount of financial impacts and savings they have achieved for their government, along with non-financial impacts. I expect to see better and greater collaboration between your institutions and other anti-corruption agencies. I expect your audit reports to be current and of high quality.
When the News at 10 returns, United States Agency for International Development set to invest $60 million in Nigeria's agriculture sector. That's in business news. Join us again.